So it looks like Jeezy has decided to divorce Jeannie Mai after only 2 years of being married. They got a daughter together, but Jeezy put up a cryptic post not too long ago that said, "Too focused on who I'm becoming to focus on who's not coming with me." And with that, it looks like it's about done. Jeezy hasn't posted Jeannie Mai since I want to say it was Valentine's Day. I went and scrolled on his channel on his Instagram page a minute ago, and yeah, since Valentine's Day, they ain't posted nothing. So it's like they only, it's unfortunate. I bet Dr. Umar celebrating right now, but it's unfortunate, man. I feel like they really didn't give it a good enough try. You know what I'm saying? I'm never really a fan of families breaking apart. You know what I'm saying? No matter the optics of whatever, who you think is good for who's good for that person. Are they gonna mesh or because Jeannie Mai was questionable as far as we knew she liked black men, but we all remember this clip right here.
But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. That's why I married white men. That's what I like.
Hold up. What do you mean, dark meat on the side? Because she likes great offensive. I am
No, I'm not. I'm saying, I really do think black men are attractive. I do. That's my...
Well, what do you mean, dark meat on the side?
That means, honey. You know what that means.
Wait, what are you reading it as?
How did you say it?
I'm just saying, when I think about men, I like dark men. I do.
Right, you like your main man to be white and your side piece to be dark.
So as you can see from that clip, Jeannie Mai is one that would raise a few eyebrows on black folk. Like this the one that you choose, because the way she say that is what she meant. But even if the way that it was described there is white man marry black man side guy, it's still like in her mind how it came out. It still is like a white man is good for her, black man isn't good for her, but the black man is like the guilty pleasure. Like she really loves black men, but he's probably not good for her. And to be honest, that's probably what her heritage tells her. Because we black folk, we ain't no stranger to other races telling they cheering, stay away from that black boy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not new to us that we're not really welcome like that. But it's an intermingling world and things are different. And as black folk, we also look at Jeezy like, hey man, it is a lot of black beautiful women out here that are available and successful and all these things. But hey, that's what we chose. But the only thing is where it's like outside of the Dr. Umar ideology, because you look at someone like Jeannie Mai, like if she's saying that out loud and that probably their Asian heritage probably tells them, the black guy ain't the pick for you, Jeannie. It's probably like, well, we looking at Jeezy like, well, why would you choose her? But regardless of that, they chose each other and they brought a baby into the world. And that's where I'm like, outside of the Dr. Umar ideology, it's like the baby is here now. I want the family, I'm rooting for the families to stay together for the sake of the kids and the sake of the kids growing up and being healthy and productive. And, it's just better when families are together. They got both parents in their household and they can co-parent from here. But I don't know what ripped them apart, but I do feel like, I don't know, maybe had they got to know each other a little more, because this just feels like so quick that this marriage, marriage is serious thing to jump into, but it feels like 2 years. That's a really quick try, and we don't know the reason. We don't know if it was infidelity or whatever. But outside of it being something deep like that, I feel like, and even when that is the case, it's like Tasha K explains this as she talks about she's been married for 20 years and she stepped out on her marriage when stuff was going right. It's like marriage is like, it goes in waves. It's like a roller coaster. And you got to learn how to kind of stick it out. You know what I'm saying? But let her talk for a second. Shout out to the lead attorney who was doing a reaction to the video.
You don't even consider how a child is going to change your marriage. Everything that Tasha K is saying is correct.
You know what I'm saying? Even though y'all probably had this great marriage when you started, but then the kids come in and the babies is probably sleeping beside you or waking you up at
Literally.
He
Yeah.
had to go to work. That's not his fault.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
you guys, in a marriage, I've been married almost 20 years, and this happened early on in my marriage. Unfortunately, in my marriage, right, when it was happening, I stepped outside of the marriage.
Oh, okay. Tasha is admitting, hey, I stepped outside in my marriage. And this is how a lot of women solve this sexual dilemma, guys. Your wife will simply let another man in between her legs. How would that make you feel as a husband who is a great father and a great provider? Salute to Tasha K for admitting this. This is a very common marriage dynamic.
Just to be clear, I'm not insinuating no infidelity happened in Jeezy's and Jeannie Mai's marriage, but this is just Tasha K's example of some of the stuff that they went through, but they were able to make it through.
That didn't solve anything
No.
at all. It made things worse. Okay. And so because as women, we're emotional beings, you have to understand, like, marriage goes through waves, right?
Mhm.
And you have to consider the parameters around, like, what is going on? Like, what happened to cause you guys to be emotionally distant from each other?
Tasha.
So as Tasha K says, she trying to, like, you know, what's emotionally wiry, y'all? And the lead attorney went on to say too, like, men are not emotional for the most part. They think differently than how women think, so they approach stuff differently. So you're approaching it different if you're trying to get a man to be emotional. Even men that were raised by women, as we talked about before, where they have emotional traits where they, you know, you mix that with violence and you get a bad combination, because a man can be violent and then if you make him emotional with that, he'll make bad decisions. But men usually they think logically, and women think kind of with feelings. That's why it surprised me that Jeezy filed for divorce first, because usually women, 70% of the time, file for divorce more because of their feelings. They feel like, or they feel they're getting bored, or they feel like, you know, instead of logically thinking what's better for the family. Can we stick it out? Can we work through this? Can we go to counseling? Can we talk? Can we work, you know, out whatever? Because relationships get stale. Like, and this is just me and my 2 cents. I'm single, you know what I'm saying? So I can't tell nobody how to stay married, but I do know that relationships stale. I know that's basic. That's 101. Any relationship, married or not, they get stale. They get old. You have to do whatever you can do to spice it up, or be around each other, or, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot. It takes work. It just, the butterfly stage just doesn't last for the whole marriage. And so it makes me wonder what made Jeezy go ahead and divorce. Like, was it like, oh, I got to beat her to it for the prenup? But they had prenup, so it was, I don't really know. But we will see, I guess, in the future. But either way, that's kind of not what I want to focus on. The focus I just really want to say is just, I wish they would have gave it more of a chance, because we know that relationships are hard. Relationships are work, and it's just not butterfly stages that just keep wafting. You know, there's no butterfly stage that would keep 2 people married for 30 or 40 years. We've seen some of our grandparents and be married, you know what I'm saying? No matter what they went through, this, that, and the other, they stayed together for years and kept the family together and worked through their problems, you know. So it's very much easier said than done. But I just wish in this day and age, more families would realize that relationships do go in waves, and you're going to have those drop-offs, and it's much harder to work through than to just let it go. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we let it go just thinking, oh, well, I can let it go and the grass is green over here and I can go do this and keep living my life. Because it's like some people will break up over boredom, just not realizing that the next person you with is going to get boring in 5 years too. They'll break up over getting cheated on, just not realizing the next person is going to cheat on you too. Like, It's just not that you should stay in relationships accepting constant bad behavior, but it's just we want people to realize that anything is possible to be worked through. Because a lot of us will break up relationships for our own selfish reasons, but then we don't think about the babies where they in it now. And they got to experience the pushing and the pulling, the back and forth between the co-parenting situation and who's this and that. So it's a lot mixed in with that. So you just never know what could have broke them up so easily, I guess, but maybe it wasn't something so easy. Maybe it was a big thing that broke them up. They just kept it quiet. But whatever reason, I am rooting for families to stay together. But unfortunately, it looks like this one is not going to make it. But hey, use it as a lesson, man. Just get with somebody that you believe is worth fighting for, worth fighting to stay together with and worth pushing through, because relationships are definitely hard, let alone marriage. So hard, I've never been married, but I know from watching, it's a very hard thing to do. And the best thing you can do is pick the best choice you can pick to make sure that when it gets extra rough, that you have someone with you that's worth you fighting to make it through it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's your boy P. Kim, Jeezy, Jeannie Mai. Wish y'all well, man. Get at your boy.